Hey there. So I'm over at the elementary school responding to a HVAC call. It's more of a cooling issue or an issue of how somebody is experiencing the coolness in their room. I was here 2.5 weeks ago and for the same thing. What I have are two classrooms that have a common wall and one AC unit on the roof is servicing both rooms. So the challenges with that situation is if there's an imbalance in the system and one room is getting more than the other, and that affects things both in the winter and the summer. The other challenge is if the people in the rooms experience the same environment differently. When I checked 2.5 weeks ago, I wasn't using an anemometer. What I did was I was working outside, it was warm outside, and I came back in and just went into the rooms to feel what the temperature felt like. And both rooms felt very similar. I also looked at the ducting in the ceiling, and the ducting was pretty much the same from room to room, and all the vents were wide open. So basically from just with my hand up against the diffuser, things felt like there was lots of air movement coming out of both sides. But I have a meter now that measures not just the velocity of the air coming out of the diffuser, it also tells me the exact temperature, and it will allow me to really have some empirical data to compare the two rooms. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just over in the staff room right now because I wanted to see what this room, what kind of air was coming out of the diffusers when the AC kicked in this room. This room is set to 21 degrees Celsius. And I had fluctuated a little bit, but from around 2 to 2.3 meters per second. And temperature-wise, when the AC reached its full cool, was about 17-ish degrees. Now, because this room kind of serves the needs of a lot of people, I'm going to use this as our benchmark, and now I'm going to head over and compare the classroom.
Mistakes can happen, everyone makes them. The difference with pros is we know how to fix them.
Facilities maintenance. Now, before I get started, and because there's no way I'm going to be able to retain this information in my head, I'm just going to draw a diagram here depicting the classrooms and the location of the diffusers, so I have some place to record the information as I go around the rooms and gather it. All right, what I'm doing is I'm turning on the AC, and I want to run it for a while. Mode off, auto. Heat, cool. Okay, I had to abort my readings right now at the moment because the AC shut off as I went to the second diffuser. So I went back to the thermostat and I looked at it, and first of all, these are not my favorite thermostats to program, but when I looked into the programming, it was all over the place. And according to the thermostat, it is now 4:38 a.m. So I need to reprogram that thermostat so that it at least is following some proper parameters, and then I'll resume what I was trying to do. Okay, I've got a temporary hold on there. Fan set to on. System set to cool. Let's try this again.
In the morning.
Okay, I've already discovered that on the one back there, I have very little velocity coming out of that one. Whereas on this one, I have 3 meters per second, and the temperature is steadily dropping because I have the AC on. It's showing 18.4 right now.
On one side, back in the sheet. Only I can hide. In the morning, I'm wondering how
Okay, I have some interesting results. Let's go to the other classroom.
sick and weary, and only your love gonna make it right.
Okay, I had to go around and redo a couple of them because of that hiccup, but I'm in 224 right now in the room where the teacher in here is complaining of being very cold when the AC is running. But if you look at the airflow out of her vents, 1.7 meters per second, 0.9 meters per second, 0.5, 0.9, there's very little airflow coming out of here. If I go next door, the airflow on her vents, where she's complaining of being hot, is 3.6, 3.3, 3.5, 3.3. These are all meters per second. There's a lot more airflow and velocity in that other room over there than there is in the room that I'm in. And yet this is the room where the teacher is complaining of being cold. Actually, let me just show you. I wish I had a camera person here, but I will take a reading of this vent right here over the teacher's desk and try and film that. So on paper, what I recorded was 1.7 meters per second and 16.9 Celsius. Showing 1.7 and 17.6 Celsius. Okay, I'm gonna go to the other room and go to the vent above the teacher's desk, which is showing 3.3 meters per second and 17.4 degrees Celsius. We're heading to that corner over there. 3.2, 16.6. Okay, I'm seeing a couple things that are interesting when I compare the two classrooms. Classroom 224, the total air volume, let's call it in meters per second, is 11.6. And in 226, that total is 13.7. So this classroom is actually getting more air than this one. And it makes sense, and it shows up in two different ways. 2.5 weeks ago, these two diffusers right here, this one and this one, we'll call the occupant of this classroom Kim. Kim's desk is right below here, and she was complaining of being cold. So I choked down the diffusers. There's a baffle in the actual vents themselves, and I choked them down from wide open to about half. And that would explain why all these other numbers are sitting high, like 3 point something, and these ones are 1.1 and 1.7. That's why those are lower. The fact that this is lower also explains why we've got a high number here. In fact, the two highest numbers on this whole chart are these two right here, 5.1 and 3.7. That's telling because all the air from the unit itself that's being sent into this classroom, if less is able to go to these two vents, more is going to go to these two. So that makes sense. What it doesn't explain, though, is why this teacher is always hot and this one is always cold. Remember, I had separate complaints from each of the occupants, where one was saying that the AC was not working in 226, while the other was saying that the AC was set too cold in 224. Overall, the numbers are close enough that the two rooms should feel about the same, which is what my experience was 2.5 weeks ago when I walked into the rooms on a hot day. I was kind of sweaty, and I walked into one room and felt the air. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and then I walked in the other room and felt the air, and they felt very similar to me. The data is showing that. What I can do in this classroom here is choke down these two vents as well as these two and reduce the amount of airflow in here overall. Because if I choke these ones down as well, in theory, more air should go to this one. Right now, with these two choked down, that air dump is happening at these ones. But if I also close these ones up a little bit, Because these two rooms are sharing one unit, one rooftop unit, my thought is that more will go to this side. The bigger question is, why is this happening in the first place? How is it that one occupant is experiencing the room as very hot, while the other occupant is experiencing it as very cold? I have my theory, and I have to think of a kind way to say this, and that is that the person who is experiencing the room as cold, she is a sweet grandmother, and the person who is experiencing the room as hot is a young girl in her 20s. That's the only thing I can come up with. I feel like the messenger here. Don't shoot the messenger. But I don't know what else it could be. The rooms are being, like, they're well balanced. And I don't want to close off the vents completely in the other room, because then I'll be back here in the wintertime when we need heat in that room and the teacher is complaining of still being cold because now the room's not warming up. Because if I close the vents down now, that's going to affect things 6 months from now as well. So I'll tweak them a little bit and see. What I can't do is change what the temperature is coming into each room on an individual basis. It's going to be the same in both rooms. And I should mention that in the room 224, in room 224, where the temperature is showing a little bit lower on my chart, the only reason for that is because I started taking all my measurements in 226 and then moved over to 224. And so the AC had a chance to just get a little bit cooler as time was progressing. Had I started in 224 and ended up in 226, those numbers would have been reversed. So they are really not salient to what I'm trying to prove out here. Yeah. I think that about covers it. I'll go up into the ceiling and choke down the vents a little bit on those two that are showing really high, and then let the teachers know what I've done, and we'll go from there. You may be wondering why I didn't take further readings after choking down those vents. The reality is that the numbers don't matter, in the sense that I know that choking down the vents will give me less air. And what matters is how the occupants experience the room. But I know where we're at now. I know how the whole system is performing. So, yeah, like I said, I hope my theory doesn't get me in trouble. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.